Blocktales is an innovative and well-loved Roblox game, earning the title of game compared to the rest of the experiences on the platform that barely teeter on the line of a game. Its novel turn-based combat, storytelling, and being one of the standout RPGs of the genre on Roblox. As much as I want to spend the whole video praising the game, one thing is for certain, the game is way too easy. For your journey to the newest chapter at the time of writing, Blocktales offers a lot of tools to your disposal for your success. Just take a look. I'm absolutely destroying the super boss of Chapter 4 with my current build. There's literally no contest. And now he's dead. Being a max level Murphy is great and all, but it gets really boring steamrolling through every fight you bring yourself to. Where's the challenge? Where's the charisma? The satisfaction? I know what you're thinking, Junklops. Just walk towards the right of the screen of Blissville and talk to this annoying looking guy to get your fix of difficulty. Now I can't agree with you, it's just not foolproof. Okay, let's play Blocktales in hard mode. Already completed. What about the other modifier? They hardly change anything. Get this, let's stack all of the above for a real challenge! Too bad, someone already beat me to the punch. As someone who's approaching 100 hours in Blocktales, I put it upon myself to really put my skills to the test. A challenge where there are actual stakes limiting to what I can and cannot do, removing any cushions we could have had to soften our fall into our demise. That's right, I'm challenging myself with a NUZLOCKE, if the title of the video hadn't already spoiled it. So here are our rules. 1. Permadeath. Anytime we die in battle, no matter where we are, I'm forced to delete my save file and start from square one. It's a NUZLOCKE for a reason. 2. Thick Skull. This passive card is purchasable right as we start our adventure, giving us a permanent sentence of staying at level 1. 10 HP, 5 SP, and 3 points of BP. We're a newborn all the way through. The reason I opted for this card specifically, unlike the other difficulty-enhancing cards shown previously, was wiggle room, giving you options for health increases and crutches for being a little sloppy. Using Thick Skull enforces the idea of perfection and raw skill instead of cheesing your way through. Going on to the next rule. 3. Sword energy is banned. It's simple. I'm throwing all of the sword fight on the height swords away into the fiery pits. A poor innocent John Shidletsky can't tell me otherwise. 4. No reusing items after battles. This is the only breathing room I'm giving myself. This rule incentivizes getting crafty with how I pick my fights. I can stack as many as I want, but after its usage in battle, I keep a list of items that I can no longer use for the rest of the run unless I die. We're going down gluttonous, and I couldn't care less. Throw in a couple more rules that are self-explanatory, and we're off to the races. I should also explain that this video is going to be part 1 of this challenge, solely for the fact that I did all of this in one video. It'd be a nightmare for my insanity. So I'm only going through chapters 1 and 2 to grow my endurance to conquer the later chapters to eventually complete it entirely in one video. So without any more stalling, let's travel back to the past and save Builderman. I hope you enjoy the video.
There's Lewis here bombing houses, doing shootout in restaurants and stores and local establishments.
Or do I say present? Yeah, if you haven't already played Blocktales,
which you really should if you haven't.
The most recent addition into the story is the pre-prologue, the starting introduction in Blocktales through modern Blissville. There's nothing else to say, it's just a tutorial. I'm sure that you know how Blocktales works if you clicked on the video. It's just a fun new addition to explore the story. I really like it, is what I would say if I wasn't required to go through it every time I open a goddamn save file. It just turns into an annoyance every time I fail. It's quite literally a walk of shame. I wasted 4 minutes of my life to actually begin the challenge. Harry, please, you're an elderly penguin. I don't need a lecture from you every time I misclick my spacebar. Fuck! Now we enter the prologue, the actual introduction of Blocktales. We first start out by making our way to the annoying-looking guy I talked about earlier to pick up Thick Skull. This officially starts the challenge. It's important to note now that I'm going to actively avoid every enemy encounter because it would be a big waste of time to go through every battle with no incentive for level progression. I'm not allowed to run away from battles anyway. We climb our way to the top of Roblox HQ to meet up against Red and Blue as our first major encounter. And they don't even put up much of a fight. I love beating up children. After leaving no child left behind, we gain our wooden sword from Shidletsky and proceed onwards to rescue the 7 swords of Swords Fight in the Heights. I encounter a couple of enemies on my way, nothing noteworthy to write home about except for these nonsensical hitboxes. It wasn't much of a hassle after my countless hours of playing through the pit. It's honestly kind of sad that 90% of the enemies in the prologue aren't seen again. As for the standard in every RPG, you target the most threatening enemy first, then you just have the weaker specimen to whack itself to death. Fun stuff! Upon my journey climbing through the meadows, I picked up a few items hidden behind several objects since I wanted to save as much ticks as I can to use in the future of this challenge. Sometime later, I'm stopped in my tracks by Nubador accompanied by Red and Blue for humiliating them in such a short time. Hey, it's not my fault, I wanted to dropkick a baby! Going into this fight, I was slightly worried, not for the fact that I eradicated both of these children in one explosion, which marks off the bomb on our NUZLOCKE list, but it's for my apparent skill issue up until now. You see, Nubador has two attacks, his elbow drop, which has a jerky wind-up, and his Super Bowl toss that I could dodge without looking. Surprisingly, unlike most of the bosses in Blocktales, Nubador doesn't have an attack pattern he's scripted to follow. It's basically a coin flip on what attack he chooses to do for his first turn, since in some rare instances he can perform the Super Bowl toss twice. I defeat him with not a lot of effort. How hard could everything else be if this guy was such a pushover? We finally kickstart ourselves into Chapter 1, storming the castle. Just like the prologue, everything is pretty trivial. Walking around the darkness of this cave, having the lightning-fast reaction speed to avoid these ants, and oh my god, Terry, shut the fuck up! Moving into the Frigid Frost Cave, and wow, look at this, we already have another boss encounter. See, I told you, what is there to talk about? Going into the fight with the Supreme Ant is very underwhelming. Somehow she has less health than Nubador and only has one meaningful attack, which I can easily parry. Other than that, this boss is just a drop in the bucket, although it was fun to parry the regular ants without training wheels for once. Hey, at least it wasn't me. After leaving the icy caves, we make the entrance to Road Town. We're immediately told that the town's been overrun by the cold winds of the ice dagger brought by Blackrock Castle further uphill. But little does he know it's only a paperweight to me. Before I went into Blackrock, I went along to purchase any necessary items I would need if there were any hiccups along the way, including getting one of the many apple pies. After talking with Mayor Monty about the upbringing of the ice dagger, we're given the passport entry into the toll gate exiting Road Town. On my way uphill, my goal was to avoid as many enemy interactions as I could. Most of my attempts were successful, using the map geometry to give myself a height advantage, while other times I fumble the bag and get bitten by the wilderness. Oh, what? Not like it was a huge problem, though. It's a mild annoyance of battling enemies I know how to defeat effortlessly, until somehow I don't? Listen, I don't know how I do it. After a few battles later, another road blocked by the Banished Knight. And now he's dead. Ignore my health bar, please and thank you. After this stupid fumble of mine and lever press, we're stopped again by another enemy, this Killbot. Nothing to worry about, we just used the bomb and... Wait, I already used the bomb. It's marked on our NUZLOCKE list. I used it in the Nubador fight to clear out Red and Blue. Fuck! There's nothing else I can do. All of my attacks are blocked because of the 4 defense. I guess it's all over. It's not meant to be.
Ah, but this was all a trick. I deceived you.
For all you simpletons, this would be a soft reset, but I'm a god against men. Gentlemen, allow me to reveal my special guest, Big Rungus Salt! This one-of-a-kind henchman of mine does everything I need. He counts all of my corpses, negotiates the cartel for more explosives, and the best part, he's 4 years old! Who said the youth isn't capable of hard labor? With the humble assistance of him, he demolishes the spiky Killbot with no problem. Everyone, say thank you to Big Rungus Salt. Your help is always appreciated. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right. Continuing the march through the snowy terrain, we make our way to this blocked-off cave with Accountant Jim stuck in all the rubble. Harry insists I should leave him there, but how could I pass up a dynamite opportunity? He's fine! With our new ability in hand, we storm into the castle to retrieve the ice dagger. The Blackrock Castle encounters are definitely a step up on what I've faced so far. The castle guards aren't as easily avoidable to the enemies prior, even some of them coming in larger numbers. As always, I managed to stay on top with a few scratches to my name. The loyal knights were a lot more threatening than the crossbow cronies. Oh, how couldn't I forget? After the onslaught I committed, and the 2,157,167 souls taken? Really? We're halted by Blackrock Castle's first major boss, the Sentinel statue. For first-time goers, this boss is a huge wake-up call. The absolute annihilation of his most infamous move, unexpected zooming. Luckily for me, I can catch a fly with the back of my hand. I love reaction time! And I defeated him with a minor scratch. With a couple more filler moments later and a new ability unlocked, we've made it to the end of our road in Chapter 1, with Cruel King awaiting our arrival in his domain. Let's do it. Let's do it, buddy. The battle with Cruel King is a warm-up to the difficulty that this challenge will bring. Rocking the most health points we've seen up until now, Cruel King is nothing to scoff at. All of his moves can very easily dispose of me if I'm not careful. His Scepter AoE attack, his Ice Dagger freeze, which I fell victim to, and his summoning of either a Loyal Knight or a Crossbow Crony. My strategy in this fight was to target him with all I've got until he's weak enough to kill with a single dynamite throw. Cruel King is scripted to always perform the same attack pattern, so every 3 turns he summons one of his guards in. Weirdly enough, through all of my times fighting Cruel King, I've only fought against crossbow cronies. Perhaps I'm just bored to be an archerman? With a few items consumed and a fistful of detonation, Cruel King is dethroned from the power of the Ice Dagger. Too bad I won't be able to use it though, the voices told me otherwise. Hey, on the bright side, I guess it's not another count on my corpses. I have even more on record than the amount of times I've even burnt down buildings. Soon after our interaction with Terry, we're teleported back to Roblox HQ to meet up with Shudletsky about our next quest to save the sword fight in the Height Swords. Maybe it was the injuries he faced only an hour ago, but when the fuck did I ask for a sword energy tutorial? He didn't even read the rules of this challenge. Give me a break already. After that exchange, Shudletsky informs us that the next sword on the list to rescue is the Venom Shank, located in Terrapolis. With the supposed Mayor Nathaniel protecting the Venom Shank, well, at least I have that reassurance. With the guidance of Shudletsky, we make our way to the airport with Tutorial Terry as our pilot, and begin the adventure to the Venom Shank. Chapter 2 continues off the formula of Chapter 1. Unlike Chapter 1, however, the beginning isn't as interesting. As the first encounters are previous enemies from the prologue, this is child's play! Boring! After all of the unnecessary filler, we've made it to Terrapolis to meet up with Mayor Nathaniel. I'm sure he's fine. Before I did check up on him though, I explored a bit, collecting another one of the mini apple pies, purchasing the rocket launcher for later encounters, and stopping by Green and Purple for a quick chit-chat. Who said I couldn't make friends along the way? But hey, at least Mayor Nathaniel left me a free Jeep for the road. Parking in rugged forest, the enemies in this chapter are fairly straightforward, having a huge emphasis on poison damage over time. I enjoy the addition a good bit. Being inside of a jungle defending off tribesmen and wildlife is a great ride, especially having some instances where you can drown enemies in the overworld. I beg you, please don't patch this. A few tussles later, we have our first minor encounter with our first mini-boss, the Komodo Dragon. Dealing with this reptilian Blook was very straightforward. In my many hours of Blocktales, I've ran plenty of runs through the pit, exclusively in floor 29, containing 4 Komodo dragons, so I have a lot of experience in my hands to handle his several hasty bites and tail whips. The parry windows were more delayed from what I've come across prior, but with a bit of patience, the Komodo was put down. Hey, they attacked me first. After the commotion, we somehow managed to make friends with this Komodo dragon, inviting us into his small nest, giving us the rocket boots. Personally, I adore the functionality of them thus far. Not only traversing long distances, which we could cross by normal means, but the extra versatility with providing an overtime effect of our own. After some battles later with the wildlife once more, we make our way towards another green pad for... Alright, fine, let's just get it over with. I didn't want to avoid talking about Griefer up until now. He's one of my favorite characters in all of Blocktales, but oh baby, I was grieving him from the very start of this challenge! You see, after completing a chapter in Blocktales, you're able to access the Guru, an area specifically for refighting the final boss of the respective chapter. However, Griefer, for whatever reason, isn't on that list. Was I destined for failure? Sporting 4 additional health points more than Komodo and 1 defense, Griefer is a lot different than everybody else up until this point. His sly gestures aren't for nothing. His attacks are much more delayed than Cruel King's, including his nasty crowbar smack trancing us with a slowness effect, which is punishing with my permanent 10 health points. The items I've saved up were a good failsave, hot chocolate being the prominent one, since it nullified all status ailments for 3 rounds. But it just wasn't good enough for my raw skill, and unfortunately, he's probably gonna charge. Damn. I get my ass kicked. Our first death was set in stone. But it wasn't going down that easily. In fact, there were several mistakes I made in this first run. The rocket launcher? Really? After a short period of sitting in my loss, I created a new save file to try again. I wasn't all upset though. My playtime to the pre-prologue to Chapter 1 was little under an hour. so it was manageable to climb back to where I'd fallen. This also means all the previous items I marked down were reset, meaning I was free to strategize once again to our roadblock. My second time around, I was keen on capitalizing on patience and taking advantage of my resources. Weirdly, I ignored the game's advice in giving me HP+. It's a free health bonus of 5 that were given for free until the arrival of Chapter 1. Who knew that having 15 health points instead of 10 would be so relieving? While in the same field, I'm never touching the rocket launcher again. With our current tools, it's the weakest damage option to our disposal. The area damage it provides is pitiful. The Super Ball could do miles better. So it was a no-brainer that being a basic bitch and using the sword was the best route to go through Chapter 2. I'm expecting a lot of banter in the comments. After storming right through all of the prologue in Chapter 1 with my new game plan in mind, we step our way back to Griefer with my newfound confidence. As luck would have it, Griefer does have an additional move I didn't mention, being his charge up amplifying his damage for one turn. This is everything. I don't know if I accidentally pissed in Griefer's cereal my first time around, but he was generous with his damage modulations in this fight. Using this to my advantage and, successfully pairing his crowbar swings, he goes down to the ground, tallying up more items to my band list. Standing strong, Griefer cowardly runs off further into the rugged forest, continuing on our adventure for the Venom Shank. With my newly gained confidence, I pressed onward. It's not too long until we clash into more enemies as we find our first upgrade into our arsenal, the Iron Sword. Fuck, now it's gone. Cutting our way through, we find ourselves against Bigfoot, who really isn't happy about my rudeness towards him from much earlier. What? At least he's not roadkill. Towering way over us, Bigfoot is a step up in difficulty than Griefer. Now, why am I so honest in saying that? Compared to the former, I don't have to go on a whole tangent. Bigfoot is found via the pit on floor 28, so it's steady sailing for the most part. It definitely isn't easy by any means. All of Bigfoot's attacks, if not correctly avoided, apply the small status effect which decreases our damage for 2 rounds, hurting our sword output which is needed for his most dangerous attack. Towards the end of his scripted attack pattern, Bigfoot charges up his anger to unleash a barrage of kicks and punches, which not dodged correctly can kill us once again. My game plan was to constantly maintain sword hits to chip him down to dynamite percentage, as if I wasted my SP early, I wouldn't have a win condition of ending the fight. So after impressing myself with the skill I had, Bigfoot had fallen to my knees. As a reward, we're not only given the Iron Sword, adding an additional damage point to our damage numbers, we're given the Goddess of Mangoes. You already know I'm hoarding these. After my little moment, I finally made my way to the giant tree housing the Venom Shank. I kind of forgot we're on the quest since I'm refusing to use sword energy. This is the stage of the chapter where the game really tests us on our DPS, since all of the floors leading up to the top have unavoidable encounters with up to 4 mobs present. Goodness, imagine if I tortured myself using the rocket launcher, I probably would have killed myself here. Nothing really sparked from it, until this happened. Then I'm gonna quickly run in the mango tree. No! No! Accidentally, no! Oh my god. Wait, I have 1 brain cell. Oh my god. If that wasn't a fumble of the century, then I don't know what is. So, after climbing the tree for the second time and having to painstakingly refight all of the previous enemies that I've cleared since leaving for a period of time respawns them, I correctly, like a normal person would break the planks into Griefer's crib. With all of my items ready to go, we head into the rematch with Griefer, with even more schizophrenia. What could possibly go wrong? 40 HP. Yeah, I was stressed out again. The second fight against Griefer would be, in my opinion, the hardest fight in this challenge so far. What makes this fight so problematic is 1, the health point difference I mentioned, and 2nd, his 2 new moves, which I was lucky to have thrown into Griefer's random attack intervals. I swear, the Noise and Griefer would be good friends. His brand new attacks are 2 variations of Venom Shank swings, one where he swings once and does a tornado spin, and the second a more delayed overhead slice, dealing a staggering amount to my health bar including poison over time. But I could take advantage of his charge-up ability, right? Well, congratulations! I'm about to die! I was really cutting it close, with Griefer and myself being down to the wire. I pulled out my trump card I was anticipating to use, biscuits. At the end of the anthill section, we were given a free biscuit for existing, which has the additional perk of giving us more health points with the variance of tea stored in our inventory. Upon eating it, I was saved! For about 15 seconds. With the stakes being high again, a lot was pumping in my head at this moment. Another reset back to square 1 would be crushing. Was I truly not destined for glory? Ooh, you have no idea how clutch that is. Oh, get fucked. I surpassed all odds. I did it, and the green hurdle was jumped over. Griefer single-handedly fucked himself over. But we're obviously not done just yet. After Griefer trembles with defeat, naturally, I nope the fuck out of there. I took the time to rebuild my inventory. Let me try that again. After Griefer trembles with defeat, his conscience finally gets the better of him, turning himself into... We can finally put our fire damage to good use here. Now maybe I'm just an elite level gamer, but the bubonic plant is a lot easier compared to Griefer, primarily due to his extreme weakness to fire damage and our supply of mangoes. He's certainly nothing to scoff at. His most infamous plant rush is spooky, sure, but only a few taps on my spacebar avoids most of the damning damage numbers. It's very underwhelming to what I dealt with before the transformation. As a side note, does anyone ever talk about his hidden face during his acid rain move? In addition to the fact that you can rematch the bubonic plant, and oh, never mind, he's dead. Neato. We've done it. Blocktales Chapter 1 and 2 are possible. Moments full of close calls, endurance, my keyboard, the heavens of RNG. This challenge is halfway completed. Chapters 3 and 4 are on the chopping block waiting for me. I'll see you all in my Blocktales video. It's been Junklops. Thanks for watching. Actually, you know what? No, cancel that. See, the run you just saw was my second attempt at proving that I could beat the NUZLOCKE. This was all practice. All of my footage was a month apart from each other. So, why don't I actually prove the legitimacy in one sitting? it's over. It's over. Oh, I did it. I beat it. Oh, my heart is racing. Holy shit. Oh. Yeah, I panicked at the end of fucking Griefer 2. I'm surprised I got through that. It was a reality check to me that Papaya didn't get rid of poison, so that kind of startled me. But I've never stacked Papaya before. I don't think that would work. Oh, it's over though. I can edit this video now. Okay.